Hey everybody, how you doing? This is James Murphy with Evolution for Success, and if you're watching this, thank you so much for making it to day 5 of the 2022 goal setting process. So what we're going to do today is just cover all the basics here. So, because this is an organic 2 or 3 month process. So remember, in day number 1, basically we just set up something visual, because visual is memorable, and this is organic, and we want it to be colorful, and we want it to be something that's going to be engaging in the process. The second thing that we did in terms of the goal setting process when we actually started it, or the first thing when we actually started it, the second step there, is we really started to identify our categories of life, right? There's health, relationships, finances, career, spiritual and emotional health. And so we wanted to combine our categories, or figure out the categories that really work for us that we're going to set goals in. The next thing was to take a look at values and defining our top 3 to 5 values. So we just did a brainstorm for a day or two about answering the question, what's most important to us in those categories or in those areas? What's most important to me in my career, my finances? What's most important to me in my health, whatever that is. Then once we got that brainstormed list, we got our top 3 to 5 words or values, like we said, that are the descriptors for what it is that are really important to us in each of those areas. Then we continued the brainstorming process by asking the next question, and this is what starts to generate the goals, or the possible goals, are what are all, what are all the things I could do, or what are all the things I could be, do, or have, that would allow me to have more blank in my blank. So what are all the things I could do that would allow me to have more growth in my finances? What are all those things that would allow me to have a greater sense of accomplishment in my career? What are all those things that would allow me to have a greater sense of peace and surrender in my spiritual, emotional life? So as we start to brainstorm those things, big or small, we stay on that topic over and over and over and over again for many, many days, weeks, whatever that is, because we really want to give the goal setting process here a real chance to percolate, right? It's like, I use the metaphor of dating. We really want it to not only see those things first, but not have it be based on an impulse. We want to go back to the things we keep finding that we're drawn to, keep dating those and dating those and dating those until we kind of commit to them, like, hey, okay, I'm kind of engaged in this, got that engagement going, until we finally marry in the end, say, yes, that is it, I commit to that, right? So this is a big part of the process there. And so I like to repeat that, cross stuff off, add stuff on, drop off the stuff that's emotional impulse. And you'll find in between, you'll start doing other things on the internet. You'll be like Googling this, Googling that. I was looking for my map of the Grand Canyon. I use that as my one of my goals for last year. So you'll find that you're naturally kind of start doing some of these, and they should actually, in the course of that, 4 to 8, 12 weeks, whatever, you should start to gain some momentum in them as well outside of the goal setting process. Then we took a look at developing those even further once we really generate some brainstorms to that end, to starting to kind of quantify those into, hey, what's one yearly goal, a quarterly goal, a monthly goal, a weekly goal, down into weekly, maybe daily behaviors. What are some things that are there? And we start to fill in our map or our calendar there. So if you remember, I started putting in my daughter's high school dates, when she graduates, when she's probably going to start. I threw everything in there, like primary birthdays, tax times, holidays, things I already started to know. And if you see underneath each one of the calendars, there's a little space there. I started to also write, hey, I think I might want to do this goal in this month, because I'm not going to write little goals down like, go to the Barnes & Noble with my daughter once a month to have dad-daughter time, right? But I will kind of say, hey, maybe August is a great time to have our daddy-daughter weekend that we do once a year. And where's my wife have her mom-daughter weekend? Where's my father-son weekend? And then where's our family trips? Where's our high school celebration? Our little kickoff before college? So we start to like put some of the smaller goals. We actually just start to fill them in, write them in and fill them in, because those aren't the main goals, like the big yearly goals, like a trip to France or Paris for 2.5 weeks. But we do want to write those smaller pieces in as behaviors and things that we want to do. And so we want to convert and start to look at some of these big yearly goals to really convert them into what we call SMART goals. So these are just statements where we make things simple and specific, measurable and meaningful to you, It's good for all areas of your life. They're action-oriented. It's reasonable and realistic, and it's timed in towards what you want. So I use the metaphor of that might be a big goal, like, hey, I've successfully created over $240,000 in my business between January 1st to December 31st, 2022. It could be something big, like I've successfully run rim to rim to rim to rim in the Grand Canyon, May 2021. That was funny how that worked out. And so what do you want to do? Start to put the smarkles into those big goals, the yearly or the quarterly, that are really meaningful for us. And then that secret, right? The secret question is, hey, because the smarkle engages the left brain, the logic, and the reason. So then we wanted to get into the emotional component, which is, hey, what are all the things? Not what are all the things I could do. That was the other question. The secret sauce question, which is, what's the very last specific thing that needs to happen in order for me to know that I've achieved the goal? And that would be, me running up the last 100 meters of the Grand Canyon Trail, coming through that last arch up around the turn, and having my big emotional breakthrough moment like I did, right? And so we want to really create that, what's the very last specific thing, because it really has to be clear, because your brain's going to take the path of least resistance. You got to be like that painter that paints yourself in the back corner of the room, right? So you really need to dig down and search and create this picture or this vision of the very last thing that needs to happen in order for you to know that you've achieved that goal. And then that's what we're starting today. When we start to move forward with some of these and they really solidify, we're going to start and do the CEO morning routine, right? And the CEO morning routine is really simple. The CEO morning routine is you get up every day, you get some oxygen in your body, as easy as breathing or some exercise, right? Actually do P90X or something like that. Then you're going to eat a little something. For me, I just have a cup of tea, right? Or coffee, because it warms my stomach. I like that, so the stomach doesn't get in the way of the meditation process. Then we're going to write those SMART goals. You're just going to write the SMART goal while you're focusing inside your mind, engaging emotionally on the very last thing that needs to happen in order to know that you've achieved it. You might process your day. That's step number 4, is write your goals, process your day. And then step number 5 is kind of one I developed, which is you're going to meditate. That's what most people do, meditate. But remember, meditation has 4 reasons. There's 4 reasons to meditate. One of them is to just get into that comfort zone where you're going to re-energize yourself. Just be in that no mind, kind of the neutral observer. You watch thoughts and things go by you. But that just kind of keeps those thoughts keep on coming by. The second thing is to actually release those negative thoughts and beliefs and emotions. And that's, in my opinion, critical to success. Because when we release those negative emotions, that's what my entire 8-week course is about. My 8-hour program is all about emotional release. We want to let those things go, so they quit. We quit absorbing them. They quit going by. And when we release those negative emotions, like anger, sadness, fear, guilt, limiting decisions, it actually raises our energy levels, which brings us into new thoughts, new thought patterns, which lead us into new actions or new behaviors, which lead to new actions and new choices at higher energy levels. And money is energy. So the more we release all that negativity, the more we grow and evolve through that process, the more we attract. That's the secret of actually how the law of, or the secret, right? The law of manifestation, how that happens. But you got to release the negative stuff. So that then you can visualize and create that goal, right? The SMART goal, and recreate the very last thing that needs to happen, because now you're in a negative emotion-free environment. And then this is the kicker. The step number 4 for the meditation is you ask for guidance. You say, hey, what's something I can do that will allow me to really move towards this goal today? Big or small, whatever it is, what's something I can do to move towards that goal? And when you do that, sometimes you'll get something, sometimes you won't. But during the rest of the day, you might have a moment of intuition, inspiration. Hey, call Bob Smith, or you drive by that store, like, I've been going to go in there forever. Let me just jump in there. Or you're online and all of a sudden you jump onto this website, which leads to this. Or you'll have those coincidences happen where Bob calls you, or you call Bob, and you're like, hey, I was just thinking about you because I was going to do this, and let me introduce you to so-and-so and so-and-so. And next thing you know, guess what? Great stuff. Those miracles or those lucky coincidences all happen. But those lucky coincidences happen as a result of the entire process we've just talked about, or I just talked about and described. So if you're interested in that, it's, drop me a line, talk to me about my Achieve Anything Now program, because that's key. So that's really step number 5. Step number 5 is coming into what are you going to do in your morning CEO routine, which is get some oxygen, calm the stomach, read something so you can get your creative juices flowing. And then the left brain smart goal, and that very last thing that we've spent all this time focusing on, right? And then visualizing that picture, then meditating, right? Where you go through and you get in that calm space, you release any negative emotions that are coming up. Then you revisualize the goal. Let all that go. We said that, visualize your emotions, sorry. And then, we end on, hey, what's something I can do to move towards that goal today? What's something I can do? And you just trust, you have faith that things will continue to work out. I have client after client after client after client who, when they've done emotional release work, things pop just like that. People say, hey, James, how do you market? Well, I do my YouTube video and I do this type of stuff. But the bottom line is when I really want clients, I do that 4-part process. I focus on my goal. I write my goals out. I focus on clearing any negative stuff that comes up. And, say what's something I can do to move towards that. I just engage in that. And invariably within a day or so, at least sometimes like almost immediately in my inbox or whatever, I get a lead from online, or somebody finds me, the lucky coincidences. And that's how the process works. That's how we manifest things in our life. So I hope you enjoyed this week. Thanks for sticking with me for all 5 days. Really, really appreciate it. I hope you got some good value in mapping this stuff out. I'm taking all this stuff home. I'm going to put it in my office, up on the walls. I may even do a video just to show you that I'm walking my walk and talking my talk, because that's what coaches do, right? I'm my own best client when I'm not on the phone with you. Thanks for, sticking with me for this particularly long video. I usually like to only do 4 or 5 minutes, but thanks for sticking around the whole time. If you have any questions, as always, comment below or drop me a text at 919-745-7569. Most of you know my phone number. And I look forward to you continuing to run your race. Here's to your continued success. Like I said, thanks again. Thanks for joining me this week, and we'll talk to you soon. Keep running your race.